Hello and welcome back to SparkleDart. So I was talking a little bit in the last episode about how people are constantly being blamed for things on the basis of their gender or their race or their age or stuff that has nothing to do with the problem at hand, right? So straight men are being called transphobic for not wanting to have sex with transgendered women, which I don't honestly see as a problem, because if you like vagina, it shouldn't matter if the person that you're sleeping with or might sleep with looks like a woman but does not have a vagina, because if you are not interested in that, then that's just how you are. That's your own physical preference. And I don't think people should be faulted for that sort of... Are you fucking serious? Like I said before, I'm not very good at the Donkey Kongs. I don't think people should be faulted for that, because I think it's a little bit ridiculous to expect everybody to bend to your whim. And it's okay, so I'm going to sound like a huge misogynistic asshole here, but I've noticed that it's mostly women that demand people bow to their whim or their thoughts or their fancies or their ideas. Oh my god. I'm only on World 2. Is this really how this is going to go? Never mind. I'm not going to continue with that thought. That just sounds hugely misogynistic, and I'm not really interested in having that debate right now. So, anyways, I was talking about the whole transgendered person talking to news outlets about men not wanting to sleep with them. My point there was essentially, I don't even know how the media gets this sort of content, and I've always kind of wondered exactly what the mechanism is that caused that to happen. Because I can only assume it's one of two things, really. It's the transgendered person contacts the media and says, "Hey, straight men don't want to have sex with me. Publish a story on this." Or somebody who works at the media outlet is friends with the transgendered person and sees their complaints and stuff on Facebook, and then decides to write an article on them, and then that's how this happens. I honestly don't know exactly what it is, or maybe they put out a call for human interest stories like they do on Maury Povich's show. Maybe, I don't know. That's just another assumption that I have in a long list of assumptions that are probably inaccurate. I love the frog, by the way. He's my fucking favorite little guy. So, maybe I'm wrong. I'm not making any claims here. I'm not going to be that guy who pretends to be pithy and deep and have opinions. But it's just something that I've always kind of wondered about, is how you see these stories about I've noticed that these stories tend to also deal with transgendered individuals, because one thing I see a lot in the news is parents coming out and saying my 5-year-old child, son, decided he wanted to be female, so now he's a female, and we put him in dresses and stuff, and it's great. I'm that's fine if he really wanted to be female, but I think that goes into the whole consent thing. Children aren't allowed to give consent until they're 16 years old in most states in the United States. So how could they honestly consent to... children don't know anything. Children are stupid. I'm not saying you're stupid if you're transgender. This is... I don't even know if I'm going to fucking publish this shit, because this just sounds wholly transphobic. Trust me, I'm not transphobic. I've got a friend who is transgendered, and we get along great. We hang out pretty regularly. I don't hate anyone based off of their race or sexual identity or sexual orientation. I only hate people if they're assholes. And here's the problem with that, is that most people are actually assholes. And it's really upsetting to me, because that means that, if I hate somebody, I have to explain to them why, instead of just letting them hate me. Because if you tell a gay guy that you hate him, and you don't mention his sexuality, he's going to assume that it's because he's gay, which is absolutely ridiculous. Why is it that you can't just be an asshole? Why? I get that you're gay, and I get that that's your whole identity. That's how you market yourself to other people, is that you're gay. It's hey everyone, my name's Jim and I'm gay. Which I also think is wrong. I think you should be deeper than just your sexuality or your sexual orientation or your gender identity or whatever. You should be a deeper person than that. And I'm not saying that I'm a deep person. I'm actually fairly shallow. If I was a bucket and you wanted to put water in me, you'd only be able to get about a couple cubic centimeters in there. You know, it's not something that I don't know if that was a joke or not what I just said, but it was something that I said. So take it with a grain of salt. Take it however you want to take it. Burps every episode. I apologize. I'm very scatterbrained today. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I stayed up really fucking late and I was perusing the Netflix, seeing what they got on there. We got Netflix again recently. I haven't had Netflix in like 3 years, and I watched BoJack Horseman, the whole series, and I thought it was really good. But I feel like it's one of those shows that wants you to be sad about everything, and I normally don't have a problem with that. I've said before that I'm a fan of Steven Universe, and Steven Universe is one of those shows where sad stuff happens all the time, and then you as the audience has to kind of determine whether or not that makes you want to cry or kill yourself, or you're just okay with it, or you think they're playing it up for goofs, you know, just laughs, having a good time, having a couple yucks, you know, whatever, it doesn't matter. But sometimes, especially the third season, began to feel a little ham-fisted. They strung together a bunch of plot points in the last episode that all seemed random, and they were absolutely random, but like because of the situation in which these plot points weave together, it seemed like it was good writing, but it really wasn't that good of writing. It seemed like the third season didn't really know what message it wanted to send. And I know that not every show has to have a message, but sometimes like you have to have a purpose for watching a show. You don't just watch a show where nothing happens and then it's just like, okay, like that's fine. Unless I guess you're watching Seinfeld, in which case it's got good writing anyways, but BoJack Horseman is not Seinfeld. It does not have the same quality of writing as Seinfeld has. Now, I'm not saying it's a bad show, I'm just saying that it's a show that doesn't really seem to know what it wants to be, because I think they kind of told the story they wanted to tell after the first season was over, and then just kind of, like, started doing whatever after that point. It's kind of like The Office in a way, except, no, I guess it's not really like The Office. It's just, it's a good show. I would watch it. But anyways, I was talking about Netflix. I always had a problem with the Netflix model because I don't have TV, so I don't ever watch TV. But I do like to have background noise, and Netflix is good background noise because you can just put on The Office, or you can put on Parks and Recreation or whatever, and then just kind of go from there. You know, you just kind of wing it. You don't really pay attention to what you're watching, but you kind of appreciate it anyways because you've already seen the series the whole time, like all the way through several times. You know, you watch The Office, you've seen all the way up to season 7 where the show gets bad and then you don't want to watch it anymore, and then Michael leaves, and then they bring in James Spader, and he's like, his character, he's like a good actor, but his character isn't funny, so you don't really know what his purpose is on the show. And he plays like the higher up Michael Scott character, but then they promote Andy to Michael Scott's position, but it doesn't really shine through. He never really has the same like presence that Michael Scott has in the show, and it's like, well, I don't even know why I'm watching the show anymore. I guess it's because I used to like it and now I don't so much. But you're welcome for that little treat that I just gave you. I don't know. It's one of those shows that really should have ended before it did, but I guess for whatever reason they wanted to milk more money out of it. I don't blame them. It was a popular show. I mean, I watched all the last episodes anyways. Not that I ever really liked any of them. I think my favorite was probably the finale, only because they brought Michael Scott back, and it was very like touching, heartfelt sequence. And I don't know. It's just. Yeah, watch The Office. That's what I'm fucking saying. So I went to a grocery store recently. If you've ever watched that 70s show, they go to a store called the Piggly Wiggly, which is a real store, and I think it's located in like Wisconsin and Missouri and some other places maybe in the South or something like that. Where I live has a local chain of grocery stores with very similar theme, but it's not the Piggly Wiggly, so don't look up pigglywiggly.com. You won't see my face on there, my shining face, my beacon of my shining beacon of hope, as I like to call it, for all the normies, the people who think that they know me, but they don't know me. Know me, don't you know me? That's a quote from Dexter's Laboratory. Check it out.com, dexterslab.com. And I was there, and there was this black dude, and he was walking around holding a Little Caesars pizza. And I was really confused about this because at first I smelled Little Caesar's pizza. I'm like, okay, that smells good. What's going on here? Someone walking around eating Little Caesar's pizza. And I look around, there's this black guy. He's just holding a box of Little Caesar's pizza. And I'm just like, what the fuck? What the hell is he doing? And I wanted to like go up to him and be like, hey, what are you doing? But I knew he'd just tell me like some wise ass answer like, oh, I'm eating pizza. What does it look like I'm doing, chump? He'd call me a chump. I wouldn't appreciate that. I don't like being called a chump. I'm not a chump! Everybody calls me a chump and I hate it. I'm gonna start calling you chumps. Fucking chumps. I don't know. That was a bunch of rambling nonsense. Like I said, I'm a little bit scatterbrained today, so I think Donkey Kong's gonna be a very inconsistent episode where I keep talking about shit that doesn't make a difference. I don't know. I'm kind of at this point right now where I'm locked into doing this show because I want to. I want to do this show. I don't know why I keep stopping every couple of months, but I want to do it, and I get bummed out whenever I don't do it because I really like the interaction that I get with people. You know, I don't get that sort of interaction with a lot of people, and it's really nice. I love when people comment on my. You know what? This is gonna be one of those. I don't even know if I can finish this fucking game. Like, what the hell? Like, this is the third world, right? Is it really supposed to be this difficult already? I know, I get the whole nostalgia thing for this game, but, like, it's... Okay, so at the time it looked nice, which is fine. I understand giving a game praise because it looks nice, but that is not a good reason to, like, give praise to a game. It really has to have merit of its own. Oh my god. It's got to have its own merit, you know. It's got to be able to have more than just it looking nice. You know, I'm really hot, so I'm going to end the episode here, and I'm going to talk more about Donkey Kong's pre-rendered graphics when I come back, and then maybe I can stop being so fucking scatterbrained all the time, and I can say something worth listening to. I don't know. Maybe I'll do that for once on the show. I can't promise that I will, but maybe I will. I don't know. Fuck you. I'm sorry, that was rude. Goodbye, mwah.